Well, hello there. Welcome back, everybody. My name, as you already know, is Roberto Nava, and this time at my channel, we are here right in front of Tec Milenio Campus Querétaro. We are here to investigate the adjustments performed by the new administration of Tec Milenio, and I, just for you, have collected a group of specialists that will help me throughout this transmission. Let's take a look inside, please. Changes performed on our daily life are differently perceived by people. Whether it's a positive change or a negative change, we as students have interacted with both kind of people. Now, in this documentary, we're going to analyze which perspective is most common on University Tec Milenio towards the changes performed on the campus. Let's take a look at the examples of some of those changes. Let's go. Now, before we arrive to our first spot, let's talk a little bit about the background of our research team. Our investigation team focuses on three main topics: the positive psychology of the campus Querétaro of Tec Milenio, the context of the adjustments performed, and our personal perspective on those adjustments. As students of almost 3 years of the campus Querétaro, we are really concerned on the true nature that these adjustments cost on its community, on the students, on the teachers, and on ourselves. We are also concerned on the future. That's where we are trying to understand. Yes. Let's go. Now here we are, finally at the insides of the institution. Here we have a clear example, the first clear example of the adjustments performed by the new administration of Tec Milenio. It almost saddens me to see this change. The logo. I think as a community we all know what happened to it. It was a pretty logo, beautiful, blue and green, with a clear shape and an original design. And we have this. It's supposed to be totally green, but I don't like it. And as our survey already proved, many don't like it. Let's take a look at some other examples. Now, here we are, right at this spot where three changes were performed by the administration of Tec Milenio. First, let's take a look or a glance at the cafeteria. Before the changes were implemented, the cafeteria was totally different. It was a different change, different menu, different even infrastructure. Right there, we have another example. Fusion. It's another change implemented by the new administration of Tec Milenio. And let's take a look at this. Right this, Milton's Local. It was located before the new adjustments performed by the administration on the Explanada, right over there, in a totally different spot than it is right now. Does this affect the new students? Does this affect the old students? We don't know. Now let's take a look at this other spot. Right here, a big different locale than Milton's or Fusion was located. It was named Monkeys. It was run by a woman named Money. It was taken down. We aren't sure what really happened. There are rumors. But something is certain. This is a clear example of the adjustments performed by the new administration. Let's take a more specific look at the insides of the new cafeteria. As I already told you, this whole place was totally different. Those tables well, they're old. They were already here. But the sofas, the colored sofas, the orange chairs, and some of the white tables are new infrastructures implemented by the new administration. Let's take a look at the menu, some of the menu. Oops. We can see right there. There are many new food, new types of aliments. This, we believe, is because the new administration wanted to implement a healthier menu for the students. But does this affect the new students, the old students? Are they really pleased with what the administration did with their old menu? That's what we are going to see. Now, let's take a look at another example I want to show you. Right here, what you see, it's a rotten place, all broken, grass, I don't know what it is. But right here, before the implementations of the new adjustments by the new administration, there was another locale, just like Moni's, just like Milton's. There, it didn't have a proper name, but the community of the students named it the locale of the Amigo. It was taken down, such as Moni's. It was a really impacting change for the community of Tech Milenio. Many students bought their food right there. Many students feed each day with El Amigo's food. It is a clear example of some of the changes that really impacted the community of Tech Milenio. Let's go. Now, my dear viewers, we already saw some of the examples performed by the new adjustments. Now let's see what I mean with the new administration of Tech Milenio. We're here at the Dirección de Preparatoria of Universidad Tech Milenio Campus Querétaro. What do I mean with changes in the administration? They made a change on the principal, both from high school and university. They made a change on some of the workers, both teachers and workers of tesorería, biblioteca, everything changed. One other example about the administration, this right here was located at the other side of the campus, a floor above. A change in infrastructure, but important to mention. About the administration, many students aren't really sure what to think about the new principal, both high school and preparatory. They grew fond of the old administration, both Kate and the other principal, but we'll have to see what are the impact that the new administration is going to cause in both the old generations and the new generations. Let's head with our first specialist. Before our specialist arrives, let me show you one last adjustment, one with negative vibes, negative perception from the community. Here we are, at the Blackboard page of Universidad Tech Milenio. It's supposed to be an accessible platform, a very useful page for students. Useful. Here we are at the login page, but Blackboard doesn't even let me in. I can't log in to my account. It's almost funny, but it isn't. Let me show you Blackboard on the phone, however. I'm going to try to use it to get to my Habilidades and Valores course. However, as you can already start to notice, it's a little bit slow. This app, this platform, supposed to be a tool for students, but I can use it properly. Those are the kind of adjustments we're going to compare in our research. Now, let's hope our specialist arrives. Let's wait for him. Hello there, my friend.
I'm sorry for being late.
Don't worry. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I was waiting for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We have to discuss, firstly, our hypothesis. As an investigation team, we have to define a specific hypothesis we're going to focus on throughout the whole research. What is ours? Our question, firstly. Are the adjustments performed by the new administration of Tech Milenio viable, and are they really having the intended impact they are meant to have? Are they? Do you think?
Well, I don't think they are the best effort of the school. There are little things that they can improve, like the internet blackboard, as I can see there, and all of that.
Okay, now our hypothesis. We as students of Tech Milenio have developed a prediction of this question, a proper solution before starting the investigation. We as an investigation team think these changes, these adjustments aren't really having intended impact. We know they are meant to be a positive change, a positive implementation, but we are not really seeing a positive impact. We think they're going to change in the future, but that's something we're going to have to wait to glance upon. Now, Ricardo, now that you're here, you're supposed to present to us our objectives.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about our specific objectives?
Well, we set 4 main objectives to aim for. To aim to follow up for this project. One is to demonstrate the changes in Tech Milenio and if they are working. Another one is to compare and to analyze different questions and opinions about the changes in Tech Milenio.
Of course.
Practical evaluation of research, scientific research, and overhaul the teacher's point of view in all of these changes, and deliver organized and veridical information to the high command of Tech Milenio.
Of course. Those are our 4 main objectives. Now that we know them, there's a specific concept in research investigations, primordiales, to this kind of research, Ricardo. Now, I've been told you bring us some variables.
Yes, I bring 2 variables, dependent and strange variable. The dependent because we cannot control the changes here in Tech Milenio, and the strange one is because the the thinking of a student influences another student, and that changes the perspective of how the changes are seen in this world, in this institution.
Of course. That's totally clear for our research team. Now, we have the objectives, we have the variables. Let's take a look at the subject and object. For that, we're going to need another specialist. Thank you very much, Ricardo.
Thank you.
I hope we're going to see you later time. Have a good day.
You too.
Let's go with our next specialist, Daniel Modespacher. There he is. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
What were you reading?
Oh, some really interesting book I found.
So you might be wondering, what am I and our viewers doing here at the library? We were looking for you, actually. During our investigation process, we were wondering about 2 specific elements very important for the elaboration of this investigation: the object and the subject. We couldn't think of a better specialist than yourself, Daniel Modespacher, to define us these 2 specific concepts.
Well, thank you. It's actually pretty simple. The object of our research are the modifications made in Tech Millennium, from the infrastructure ones, from the administrative ones. And those eventually led to a massive wave of changes in Tech Millennium from its environment and community. And the subject of the research are the students that witness the majority or some of the modifications.
Now that we have these two concepts defined, there's a even more important thing that we must understand to reach a complete model of our research investigation. This thing, it's the tool that we are using to collect all the data of the people, of our population. This tool we used, it's called survey. Technical dispatcher, do you have any survey available?
This is a survey, actually. The survey we use to know the opinion of the students. Our tool.
Our tool, Dynamo Dispatcher. Can I read a couple of questions of this survey?
Of course.
Now listen carefully, people. This survey, this questionnaire, was used to collect all the data we finally utilized to perform a conclusion of our former investigation. First question, in which semester are you? Second question, are you conscious of the adjustments? Third question, which changes have you experienced? Those sort of questions are going to be defined by a more specialized person in a future perspective. Let's go see that person.
Thank you.
Yes. It's beautiful, isn't it? It almost seems impossible to think there could be any kind of flaws in this so sane environment. That's why we're here, to develop a proper procedure and questionnaire to root out all of that flaws and opinions the community of Tech Millennium had of all of the changes performed by the new administration. Our research type, come with me, it's a qualitative type. All of those results that we gathered throughout our questionnaire are going to be defined by our specialist Pedro Angeles. Let's go and head out for his search. Apparently, specialist Pedro Angeles Garcia is inside this classroom. Let's go find out if it's true. Hello there, Pedro.
Hello, who are you?
Myself, I'm Roberto Nava, and they're my viewers. What are you looking at?
To a new song that just came. Do you want to see it?
No, thank you. We're here for a more important reason. We've heard you have analyzed the results of our survey.
Yes. That's okay. What do you want to know about that?
I think first we'd like to see how many were they? 59?
58.
58 answers within the table.
Okay, first I will show you the table. It's this, as you can see. There we can see all the results that were analyzed, all the answers from all the subjects, and here we can see the semester, the consciousness, the changes they experimented, other changes that it was an open question, so they could choose one, the impact, the one that it was most impactful, that if they were, they thought that the changes had the intended impact, and if they were like in agreement with them. And yes, this is all the table. Is there anything?
Very interesting, Pedro. Can you tell us which was the most common answer amongst the students?
Yes, actually I have a presentation with all the graphs if you want to.
Can you show it to us, please?
Yes, sure. Here. Okay. So, the most common semester that answered our survey was the 6th semester, following 4th and then professors. There were almost none in 2nd semester and 5th semester, and actually no one from 3rd and professional answered our survey. It was not uncommon, but it happened. Okay.
This is an important fact because, as you can see, almost 50% or more than 50% of the population is from 6th semester. This means that the old generations were the ones that answered our survey. Therefore, they're the ones who experience the changes.
Yes, actually it's more than the 60% from 6th semester, it's like 64%.
Let's see the next table.
Yes.
Pedro, please.
Okay, the consciousness percentage. Almost 80%, as you can see here, it was like 85%, were conscious about the changes that occurred. And well, the remaining 15 were not conscious. This resulted in like an advantage for our investigation since we wanted to know if the changes had an impact, a positive impact. And being that the biggest part of our sample knew about them was really helpful.
This also helps to understand and to prove if our surveyed population actually is going to answer truthfully and if they actually know about the changes and adjustments we're analyzing. Do you have another tip?
Yes, if you could, of course, there, since you're closer. Yes. Well, these are the experimented changes. There were 5 options of the type of changes that occurred during our 6 semesters that we were studying here. The most common were changes in administration, changes in food, well, the food places, and changes in the image. It could be like the logo that changed and the infrastructure from the school. Well, like the building, they painted it in a different color, they renewed the name in the front, and that would be all. It was more than 70% from changes in administration and image, and yes, and also the food.
We can see these 3 kinds of changes are the most common among the students, the most mentioned at least. And Pedro, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes.
Which one of these 3 do you think has the most negative impact and which one the most positive among the students?
Okay, I would think that the most negative would be changes in food, because it not only affects students but also professor and administrative personnel as well, since most of them doesn't bring their own food, so they have to buy it in the places that sell food here. And if they change it and it's more expensive, they need to spend more money and their wages will not be enough. And the most positive, I would think that it will be changes in administration, because it like renews the school and also helps to keep in balance the old, the new, and yes, in the administration, the old, the new.
Very interesting, Pedro. Can we see another of these tables?
Yes, of course. If you could, please. Okay, this was a very important question. It is the satisfaction percentage. Almost 60%, it is actually 57%, thought that the changes, well, they thought to themselves that the changes were not satisfying enough. They weren't satisfied with the results that these changes have. And 43% thought that yes, they were satisfied with the changes.
Those are really interesting answers, Pedro. To be honest with you, I really thought the unsatisfied percentage was going to be even lower. As you can see, it's almost even. A difference of what, 9%? 10%?
Yes, almost like 8%. It's really interesting because when you implement a change, you make it for the better, but it appears that it was actually for the worse for the students. Yes, there is another question, if you could. Yes. I think this is the last one. This is that if students thought that the changes had the intended impact. It is not that if they were satisfied, but the intended impact, if it was correct. 58% thought that no, it didn't have the intended impact, and the remaining 42% thought that yes, it did have the intended impact.
Now, this is an important thing. As you saw on the previous question and on this question, the results between no and yes are almost even. This complicates things for our research team since it's even harder to analyze which one is really the truth, which one is really the fake one. Are they really satisfied? Are they really not? Well, we came to a conclusion. Since there's a slight difference between the answer yes or no, we can conclude it didn't have the intended impact. At least the students think so. Do you have any other theory?
No, this is the last one.
Those are the results, people. Leave in the comments. Do you like them? Do you not like them? What do you think about it? Let's analyze some other things. Those other things are these answers we have right here. We want to analyze the nature and behavior of both the consciousness of the people, the impact, and the other changes some of these students noticed on the campus. Pedro, can you give us a slight conclusion on what we gathered?
Yes, well, now that we already saw our results, and we are making the analysis, and we talked about it, and we, well, analyzed them, we compared them to our initial question and to our hypothesis, and then made a correlation to prove if what we thought was the real problem was correct or not. And given all the results that we had, we can conclude that the changes that were made in Tech Millennium are not having the intended impact, unfortunately. But, there is a but, we believe that they are not having the intended impact now. Maybe in the future, for future generations, there will be the intended impact. I think that's important to mention.
That brings me hope, Pedro.
It does.
Now let's talk about the applications, Pedro, shall we? Okay, Pedro, now let's talk about the applications our research may have.
Sure. Okay, so our main application is providing the school, that in this case is Tech Millennium, with our data and conclusions that we had with our research program. Also, this main application has some sub-applications. One of them is making better changes in the future. Another one is consulting the opinion of the population towards the changes that they want to implement.
Another one of these applications that occurs to my mind is this may serve to solve the current problems that generated from the changes that had a negative impact on Tech Millennium. And another one, the fifth one, it's this research may serve as a proper resource of information if anyone, whether students or an external people from the campus, may want to elaborate a similar investigation to ours of the same topic. Yes. Now, Pedro, there's an important thing we have to talk about. For every research investigation, there has to be some kind of retractors, right?
Yes.
People that may oppose to what we want to acquire, to research about. What kind of retractors comes to your mind?
Well, it doesn't have to be like people, it could be also club or organizations. But one detractor that we may find are the administrative personnel in Tech Milenio or the people that are in charge of making the changes?
Other detractor, really specific one. The people that benefit from these changes, whether it's negative or positive, the ones that make a profit out of it. Such as food changes that still remain on the campus may be an example of it. I don't know if Milton can count as one, or Fusion, but there could be considered as detractors if they are benefiting from these changes.
Well, another detractor are the same students that are opposing or in favor of these changes, but the students that are not involved in all of this, the students that don't care about this.
They're the detractors. There aren't too many detractors on this research. I mean, we aren't doing something too controversial, but I think that's it. That's all the information we need from you, Pedro.
Okay, but I think that would be all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think that's all for us too. Let's head to the exit now. Goodbye, Pedro. Have a nice afternoon. Survey data collection, as well as the survey participation. As we experienced during our research investigation, a difficulty during the impartment both from the survey and the collection of the answer surveys. And the last one. The fifth setback, obstacle we encountered during our research investigation was the third party's support towards our investigation. In this case, from the school itself, its school administration. We didn't kind of make an effort to ask for the proper support from the administration, neither did they provide it to us, but it is quite an important resource during the both data collection, conclusion elaboration, and the general procedure of our research investigation. Well, here we are, all concluded. We hope this information we've gathered might serve to future investigations towards the same topic. Even so, we are leaving our document and information if anyone wants to continue the investigation and analyze the long-term adjustments of the administration. That's my farewell. I hope you can tune us later on a later video or documentary of the same nature. Let's head out.
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing.